Have you ever noticed how some people possess a quiet yet overwhelming presence that seems to command respect and attention? They carry themselves with a certain calm, confident demeanor that can be intimidating, even if unintentionally. Such characteristics resonate deeply with the principles of Stoicism, where strength, composure, and rationality guide our actions rather than external influences. In this video, we will explore 10 signs that might indicate you possess a strong, intimidating personality, even if you are unaware of it. Each of these traits reflects an inner resilience and commitment to one's values, echoing the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers who teach us to rise above the noise of life and remain true to our principles. Through this journey, you might find yourself challenged to reassess certain aspects of your personality or motivated to embrace the traits that set you apart. It is not about being intimidating for its own sake, but about living authentically and understanding why others may perceive you in such a way. Stay with us until the end, because as we dive deeper, we will not only uncover what makes these traits intimidating, but also reveal how to channel them positively using Stoicism as a guiding philosophy. Now, let us proceed with the first sign. 1. You are decisive and direct. What does it mean to be decisive and direct? At its core, decisiveness is the ability to act with clarity and conviction. When faced with a choice, do you find yourself hesitating, second-guessing, or overanalyzing? Or do you quickly assess the situation and proceed with determination? Those who are decisive cut through uncertainty with ease, showing confidence even when the path is not entirely clear. Such confidence can make others feel pressured or insecure about their own indecision. Being direct in communication amplifies this perception. It means speaking your mind clearly without resorting to ambiguity. While some may view directness as confrontational, it is, in fact, an expression of respect for the truth. When you communicate directly, you do not waste time with unnecessary words or evade difficult topics. You lay out your thoughts plainly, allowing for honest dialogue. This aligns with Stoicism, which teaches us to value truth over comfort. But why does being decisive and direct seem intimidating to others? The answer lies in the discomfort many feel when confronted with someone who possesses a solid sense of purpose. In a world where hesitation is common, your ability to decide and speak with certainty may highlight the lack of confidence in others. Your decisiveness can be perceived as a challenge, pressuring those around you to rise to the same level of clarity and quickness in decision-making. Reflect on this. How often do you find yourself needing to tone down your decisiveness or soften your directness to make others feel comfortable? Do you see these qualities as strengths, or do you sometimes feel burdened by the expectations they create? Stoicism reminds us that our focus should be on acting virtuously and staying true to our principles rather than altering our behavior to please others. To be decisive and direct is to embody the virtues of wisdom and courage, but it is essential to pair this with compassion, understanding that not everyone may share your level of clarity. When you exercise your decisiveness and directness, consider how these traits impact those around you. Strive to be clear without being harsh and firm without being rigid. This will lead us into the next sign, where having strong moral codes further solidifies your intimidating presence. 2. You have strong moral codes. A person with strong moral codes does not waver easily. Their principles guide them through life, acting as a compass in moments of doubt. Do you find that your values remain steady even when external circumstances seem to encourage compromise? Such consistency can be daunting to those who are more adaptable or flexible with their beliefs. Yet, from a Stoic perspective, to live without adherence to virtue is to live without purpose. What is it about strong moral codes that others find intimidating? Perhaps it is the courage to stand firm when others falter, the willingness to speak up against wrongdoing, or the determination to uphold integrity in all situations. When you maintain your moral standards despite external pressures, you may inadvertently cause others to reflect on their own lack of firmness, resulting in discomfort or defensiveness. Stoicism teaches that our moral values should not be swayed by societal trends or popular opinion. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." When your actions reflect a commitment to high ethical standards, it sets you apart and can create a standard that others find difficult to match. But this does not mean your moral codes should be used to judge others harshly. Instead, they should serve as a quiet example for those around you. Do you find yourself in situations where your moral stance isolates you or leads to conflict? How do you reconcile these experiences with the desire to maintain inner tranquility? A true Stoic recognizes that discomfort is a part of life, and that our duty is to live according to our principles regardless of how others may react. Let your strong moral codes inspire you to act with courage and humility. This will bring us to the next characteristic, where we explore the power that comes from possessing extensive knowledge. 3. You have extensive knowledge. Knowledge is power, but it is also a responsibility. If you are well versed in many subjects, you might notice that your expertise sets you apart. You may feel confident discussing a range of topics, backing your arguments with facts, and presenting your viewpoints with ease. However, this vast knowledge can be intimidating to others, especially in situations where they may feel less informed. Why does possessing extensive knowledge create an intimidating presence? It is not merely the information you hold, but the way you use it. When you can discuss ideas fluently and solve problems quickly, you demonstrate a capability that others may perceive as unattainable. Your ability to present logical arguments might inadvertently silence others or discourage them from participating in discussions. In meetings, debates, or even casual conversations, the awareness that you possess a deeper understanding can make those around you hesitant to challenge your opinions. Stoicism encourages us to pursue knowledge, but to do so humbly. The more we learn, the more we realize how much remains unknown. While your extensive knowledge is a strength, it is important to wield it with grace. Let it be a tool for guiding others rather than a means of overpowering them. A true Stoic does not seek to appear superior, but to elevate the discussion and promote mutual understanding. Do you find that your knowledge often changes the dynamic of conversations? How do you ensure that others feel encouraged to share their thoughts despite your expertise? As you navigate the world of ideas, remember that wisdom is not just about knowing, but also about listening and learning from others, no matter their level of expertise. Embrace your knowledge as a means to inspire and educate, not to dominate. Next, we will examine the strength found in being comfortable with solitude, a trait that can also be perceived as intimidating. 4. You are comfortable being alone. There is a profound strength in finding comfort in solitude. While many seek the constant company of others to feel complete, you may find peace in your own presence. This emotional independence suggests a level of self-knowledge and confidence that can be difficult for others to comprehend. Do you find fulfillment in solitary activities, or do you cherish moments of introspection? If so, you embody the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. Why is comfort with solitude intimidating? For those who are accustomed to social validation, your ability to enjoy your own company may be seen as a form of detachment or aloofness. It could appear as though you do not need anyone, which can make others feel unimportant or uncertain about their own social reliance. Yet, Stoicism reminds us that our contentment should not depend on external circumstances, but rather on the cultivation of our inner world. Solitude is not isolation, it is an opportunity for growth. By embracing solitude, you have the chance to know yourself better, develop your interests, and focus on your personal growth without distraction. The ability to be content alone is not about rejecting others, but about understanding that your happiness is not contingent upon their presence. How do you balance your comfort with solitude and your relationships with others? Does your preference for spending time alone ever cause tension in your social circles? A Stoic would advise you to maintain this balance by valuing quality over quantity in your interactions and being present when you choose to engage with others. As we move forward, consider how your self-sufficiency and comfort with solitude enhance your overall presence. Next, we will delve into the quality of emotional independence from external validation. 5. Other people's validation is not important to you. A person who is not driven by the need for external validation embodies a powerful sense of self-assurance. You may find that you do not seek approval or acceptance from others to feel content or worthy. This trait is closely aligned with Stoicism, which emphasizes inner strength and the cultivation of virtue over the pursuit of external rewards. As Epictetus said, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." Why is emotional independence intimidating? For many, self-esteem is tied to the opinions of others. The idea that someone can thrive without needing social approval can be unsettling. It challenges the norms of how we relate to one another and disrupts the unspoken agreement that validation is a necessary component of self-worth. When others perceive that you do not need their approval to feel good about yourself, it may cause them to question their own reliance on social feedback. Think about your experiences. Do you often find yourself moving forward with confidence, even when others disagree or disapprove? Do you feel a sense of freedom from the fear of judgment? This ability to stay true to your path without needing positive reinforcement is a testament to your inner strength. Yet it may also place you in situations where your independence is misunderstood as aloofness or arrogance. Stoicism teaches that we should not be disturbed by the opinions of others because they are beyond our control. Instead, our focus should be on how we act and the virtues we cultivate. Consider this. When you are met with criticism or praise, do you let it affect your sense of self? Or do you see these external responses as merely background noise? The Stoic response is to remain indifferent to such feedback, using it only to reflect on one's own conduct and whether it aligns with virtuous living. Reflect and ask yourself, how often do you act based on your own judgment rather than the expectations of others? Do you feel that your emotional independence makes you a stronger person? This level of autonomy can indeed set you apart, as it shows that your self-esteem is built on a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. As we continue, let us explore how having difficult conversations is another sign of a strong, intimidating personality and why it is crucial for personal growth. 6. You can have difficult conversations. The ability to navigate difficult conversations with poise and confidence is a rare skill. Those who are comfortable addressing sensitive topics demonstrate not only courage, but also a deep level of emotional intelligence. Stoicism encourages us to engage in conversations that matter, even when they are challenging. After all, how can we grow if we shy away from the truths that make us uncomfortable? Why do difficult conversations intimidate others? The answer is simple. People often avoid them out of fear of conflict, fear of being misunderstood, or fear of hurting others' feelings. When you are able to confront these topics head-on, it reveals a kind of inner strength that others may lack. It shows that you are not ruled by your emotions, but rather by a commitment to truth and resolution. Do you often find yourself as the one initiating difficult discussions, whether it's in your personal relationships or at work? Do you feel a sense of duty to address issues that others would rather avoid? If so, you embody the Stoic ideal of courage, the courage to speak honestly, even if it means facing discomfort. For the Stoics, the art of communication is not just about speaking, but also about listening. Engaging in difficult conversations means being open to other perspectives while staying true to your own values. It requires empathy to understand the other person's feelings and rationality to convey your thoughts clearly. This balanced approach can help transform intimidating conversations into opportunities for growth. Reflect and ask yourself, how do you prepare yourself for challenging discussions? Are you able to keep your emotions in check and focus on the core issues at hand? Consider this: every difficult conversation is an opportunity to practice virtue, patience, courage, and empathy. Use these moments to build your character rather than avoid discomfort. 7. You are comfortable being alone. There is a significant difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Those who are comfortable with solitude do not fear it. Instead, they embrace it as a time for reflection and personal growth. In Stoicism, solitude is a valuable opportunity for deep self-examination and aligning oneself with nature. As Seneca famously said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable when the body is alone." Why can this comfort with solitude seem intimidating to others? The truth is, many people are afraid of being alone. They rely on social interactions to validate their self-worth and to distract themselves from their own thoughts. When someone appears content and even empowered by solitude, it can cause others to feel uneasy, as it highlights their own discomfort with being alone. Your emotional independence challenges their belief that fulfillment must come from external sources. Do you find satisfaction in your own company, or do you cherish moments of introspection? When others see you thriving without the need for constant social interaction, they may perceive you as being detached or self-contained. However, in the context of Stoicism, this trait signifies a higher level of self-mastery. It shows that your happiness is self-derived and that you are capable of finding meaning within yourself. Consider your own life. How often do you take time for introspection, away from the distractions of everyday life? Do you find that solitude allows you to understand yourself better, to align your actions with your values? In Stoicism, solitude is not an escape from the world, but a preparation for it. It is a time to strengthen your character so that when you do engage with others, you do so with authenticity and purpose. Reflect and ask yourself, do you see solitude as a burden or as an opportunity for growth? How do you use your alone time to cultivate inner peace and self-awareness? By embracing solitude, you develop a deeper understanding of your true self, and this inner strength can indeed be intimidating to those who do not share the same comfort in being alone. As we continue, let us explore the influence of words and how the weight they carry can create an intimidating presence. 8. Your words carry weight. When your words carry weight, every comment or opinion you express holds significant impact. You may notice that when you speak, others listen closely, often hesitating to challenge or disagree with you. This power does not necessarily come from the volume of your voice, but from the authority behind your words. Stoicism teaches that our speech should be measured and purposeful, never wasted on trivial matters. Why does the weight of your words intimidate others? For many, the influence of your speech may feel overwhelming because it implies a certain level of responsibility. When you express your thoughts with clarity and assertiveness, it can pressure others to measure up to the same standard or feel inadequate if they cannot. This dynamic is particularly pronounced in settings where your expertise is recognized and valued. Reflect on your experiences. Have you noticed that your opinions tend to shape the course of discussions? Do you find that others often defer to your viewpoints or look to you for guidance? If so, it is a testament to the authority your words command. However, this authority carries the responsibility of ensuring that your speech aligns with the principles of Stoicism, speaking only what is true, necessary, and kind. Consider how you use your verbal influence. Do you speak to uplift and inspire, or do you sometimes inadvertently discourage others from sharing their perspectives? The Stoic approach would be to use your influence not to dominate conversations, but to elevate them, creating a space where others feel encouraged to contribute meaningfully. Reflect and ask yourself, do you recognize the impact your words have on others? Are you mindful of the authority you project when you speak? Remember, with great influence comes great responsibility. Use your voice to guide others toward understanding, rather than merely asserting your own views. As we reflect on the power of words, let us now consider how standing out in group settings contributes to a strong and intimidating presence. 9. You stand out in group settings. When you are in a group setting, whether it is a social event, a team meeting, or a discussion, your presence is hard to ignore. Your ability to articulate ideas clearly, guide discussions, and naturally assume a leadership role can set you apart. This capacity to stand out often stems from a combination of charisma, eloquence, and confidence, all qualities that can be seen as intimidating. Why does standing out in a group seem daunting to others? It may be because when you dominate the space with your presence, it can create a contrast between your comfort in the spotlight and their preference to remain unnoticed. Those who find it difficult to assert themselves may feel overshadowed, as if their contributions are less significant. In Stoicism, standing out is not about seeking attention, but about living in accordance with one's values. When you have clarity about your purpose and act consistently with it, your presence naturally commands respect. Do you often find yourself taking the lead in group situations, whether intentionally or not? Do you feel that others look to you for direction, even when it is not explicitly requested? If you do, it indicates that your personality exudes a natural dominance. Yet, Stoicism reminds us that true leadership is not about imposing our will, but about guiding others with wisdom and humility. Reflect and ask yourself, how do you handle being the center of attention? Do you use your influence to support others in expressing their ideas, or do you find that you unintentionally overshadow them? Standing out in group settings provides an opportunity to practice the Stoic virtues of humility and temperance, ensuring that your leadership empowers rather than intimidates. Finally, we will explore how a preference for rationality over conformity sets the stage for a truly intimidating personality. 10. You prefer rationality over conformity. Choosing rationality over conformity is a mark of inner strength and independent thinking. When you prioritize reason and evidence over social norms, you exhibit a commitment to truth that can be unsettling for those who are more comfortable following the crowd. Stoicism teaches that we should act in accordance with nature, using reason as our guide. Why is a preference for rationality intimidating? It is because it challenges the status quo and forces others to confront their own assumptions. When you present well-thought-out arguments that go against popular opinion, it exposes the superficial thinking of those who merely conform. It can make others feel defensive, as they are compelled to reconsider their beliefs and decisions. Do you find that you often question societal norms and seek to understand the underlying reasons behind them? Are you comfortable standing alone if your rational analysis leads you to a different conclusion than the majority? This approach reflects the Stoic principle of living in accordance with reason even if it means going against the grain. Reflect and ask yourself, how do you navigate situations where your rationality puts you at odds with others? Do you engage in discussions to enlighten and explore the truth? Or do you find that you sometimes create friction without meaning to? Embracing rationality over conformity may indeed be intimidating, but it is also an invitation to others to think more deeply and live more authentically. These 10 signs reveal a powerful, intimidating personality grounded in the principles of Stoicism. If you recognize yourself in these traits, you have the potential to influence others positively by living a life that is true to your values. It is not about seeking to intimidate, but about embracing your inner strength and using it to guide others toward a better understanding of themselves. Let us know in the comments, which of these traits resonate with you the most? How do you incorporate Stoic practices into your daily life? We encourage you to share your thoughts and engage with others in the discussion. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with those who might find it insightful. Your support helps us continue creating videos that bring the wisdom of Stoicism to life. Thank you for watching, and may your journey toward inner strength and virtue be ever guided by reason and purpose.